What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another exciting personal finance video where I'm talking gold, silver, all things personal finance. If you're new to this channel, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my website, My Road to Wealth and Freedom. It's in the description below. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This channel is for entertainment purposes only, so please do your own research before making any investment decision like buying gold or silver or following any of the financial strategies I discuss on this channel. All right, guys, so August 14th here. It's been a while since I posted. Been away on vacation, got some beautiful weather, just enjoying everything. Lo and behold, last Sunday night, bang, gold was smashed. Unfortunately, even though I was up at around midnight in North America, I did not pull the trigger on buying another piece of gold. Mainly for one important reason. I'm not really sure. Well, first of all, I didn't have the cash to pick up another 1 ounce coin. If you guys have been following this channel, you know I usually stack the 1 ounce maple, buffalo, and more recently I picked up this 1 ounce Australian kangaroo. Beautiful coins. All of them are really nice. They're all 4.9 fine gold, so the pure gold. They're all great investment coins and that type of thing. But I've been thinking lately, it's not that easy to always come up with a couple grand for a 1 ounce gold coin. Especially, I got a family to feed, I got a mortgage, I got all this stuff going on like everybody else does. So I'm trying to think about smaller denominations of gold. But the smaller you go, like here's I bought this years ago. This is a 1/4 ounce Canadian maple. I think it's 2013 maybe, something like that. Yeah. I'm not really sure if I want to pick up a whole bunch of these or if I want, the premiums do go up the smaller you go. So, that said, if you're going to buy a little bit each pay or a little bit each month, you know, dollars don't go that far for gold these days, even with the big price smash, which it looks like it recovered quite a bit. Last I saw, gold's around 1753 or something like that. So, silver too. Silver's below $24 now. But anyway, yeah, that's just sort of what I was thinking. I'm kind of stuck. I've come up with the cash that I need for the lump sum payment on the mortgage in another few weeks. So that is my most immediate priority. But after that, after saving for that forever, all year long, essentially, I'm going to start having a little bit more cash flow that I want to use to either just build up cash in anticipation of a big correction in the stock market, or I want to pick up some more gold. Gold in particular is what I want to get. Not so much silver. Last video, I picked up a tube of these Australian kangaroos. Again, beautiful coins. I've been meaning to kind of stack a bit more silver. I got this tube of maples last year. So yeah, that's kind of where it's at, what I'm thinking, what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? In the comments below, why don't you tell me what your strategies are? Do you save enough to just buy these 1 ounce coins, or do you just buy, smaller denominations like a 1/10 ounce, quarter, half, even? That's kind of where I'm at, guys. What I'm thinking about doing for next month into the winter anyway. Yeah. So moving on, I was just looking at my Australian kangaroo right here, and mainly looking for security features. In my video, I actually should have compared the Canadian maple, a Canadian gold maple, to a gold Australian kangaroo. Both of these are 1 ounce coins. Both of them are made by reputable mints. This is from the Royal Canadian Mint. This is from the Perth Mint. Both of them have really cool security features, like the maple. As you can see right down there, that smaller maple, there's a laser engraved number as an added security feature. So that was really cool. What year is this one? This one's a 2020, so inside that maple should be a 20, and I checked it under a magnifying glass. Yes, that is the case. the Perth Mint, the gold kangaroo. One of my subscribers just commented about how there is a laser engraved letter security feature in this title up here, Australian kangaroo. I found it on the letter T. It looks like a P mint mark. I'm not sure if it was my magnifying glass or just my eyesight. I couldn't tell if it was an O or a P. Most likely a P, I think. Um, but yes, that was there. So that is also an added security feature to these beautiful gold coins. So when you're buying gold, you want to know you got the real thing, and it's really, really hard to fake a laser engraved security feature. So these are all just incredibly beautiful coins. Interestingly enough, I caught this video. It's an old video, about 7 years ago, and it was talking about um, the importance of gold. Gold is one of the few things that the average person can buy that's of the same quality of what somebody who's really, really wealthy can can own. You know, um, and by that I mean, like, you own a property. We all live in a house, let's say, and it's an average kind of middle class house. That's not the same type of house that on like a really wealthy person would have. They'd probably have like a mansion or some ridiculous type of um, home. Also, the quality of the assets that they own. They're able to get into private equity deals before the average Joe. I think to be an accredited investor, you need $1 million of investable assets. It's not your primary home. That's literally $1 million in a trading account or something like that. Um, so anyway, however, 1 ounce of pure gold to the average Joe is the same as 1 ounce pure gold to somebody who's ultra wealthy. It's the same quality essentially. May not be, maybe they have bars, but nonetheless, the purity and the quality of the underlying asset is essentially the same. They may have big, kilo bars or something like that, or whatever. Um, However, I did read a little bit about how a lot of wealthy people, they also own just tubes of 1 ounce gold coins, stuff like that too. So who knows? Anyways, I just thought that was a really interesting tank. I think the video was from Balang P. I can't remember, something like that. And yeah, you should check him out. I guess he's rebranded his channel, and I see he's starting to make the circuits on some of these gold and silver channels. So check him out. He's definitely quite a very interesting YouTuber, and I think it's called Evidence Based Wealth or Evidence Based Finance or something like that. That's his rebranded channel. Definitely worth a look, guys. Listen to this guy. Clearly knows what he's talking about. Some really interesting research there. Um, I like to get a variety of opinions on everything. I'm not just a gold bug saying, oh, gold's going to the moon. I like to invest in a variety of different assets. I like to be diversified, but I do recognize the importance of gold and silver in a portfolio, more so now than ever before, I guess. Um, and I think that's mainly because I've done quite well in the market and in real estate and stuff like that. But I've been really doing a lot of soul searching, this past year, and I was just like, why, what is it? Because I'm not, this great investor or anything like that. I'm just an average guy investing in stocks and real estate and stuff like that, just like everybody else, just middle class. You know, um, I don't have any secret information or anything like that. I just kind of do the, plain vanilla, invest and, don't buy too much home, don't buy too much car, don't, live below your means. And I know that's hard for a lot of people nowadays. Um, they're always chasing the next big thing. But my results have not been, have been really phenomenal, I think anyway. And I was just really thinking, like, I had a lot of wind in my sails. Uh, I bought into real estate just as it started to take off. Um, I upgraded my home in a down year in the real estate market, And since then it's soared. It's doubled in value at least. Um, Also, the stocks that I own, I began investing heavily in and around and after that 0809 crash. And, I've like tripled my money essentially. And it wasn't hard to do. If you bought a, plain vanilla index fund, S&P 500, you've tripled, quadrupled, whatever. Um, but that's not exactly a result by skill. Because I just said I don't really have any special skill that I bring to bear other than just consistently investing a set amount of money every week, every month, every year. Like that's sort of how I've done things. Um, yeah, so I'm just thinking about, going forward. Here we are at, record high prices for so many different things. And like this year, I'm just honestly, it's not for me, it's not really about making that big um, game changing amount of money. I'm not really looking to get rich or anything like that. All I really want to do um, is basically preserve what, the wealth that I've built these past 10, 15 years, and just basically protect from downside deflation or a crazy amount of inflation. So it's still unclear really what we're going to get. We're getting a lot of inflation, but who knows if the central banks decide to fight inflation, that's going to send everything into a tailspin. If they just keep printing, there is a risk of hyperinflation. It's so uncertain. I just feel like I just want to kind of clear the board. I have debt in the form of a mortgage. I want to get rid of that. That's been my goal. I don't care how high stocks go or whatever, or how low gold and silver go. I have that one priority: get out of debt at all costs and reevaluate um, my position after that. So making that big lump sum payment next month, that should really knock the mortgage down to 40 grand, less than 40,000 bucks. I'm just going to run it out, run the clock out because the bank won't let me put any more down. Um, so it looks like by mid next year I should be completely paid off, own a completely paid off home. But with all my excess money that I was using to save and put lump sum payments down on the mortgage, I'm going to have all that money freed up essentially. I'll still have my mortgage payment until mid next year, but I'm still going to have all this excess cash. Not, I don't want to say I'm going to be like flush with cash. It's not really that way at all. I might have, an extra maybe 2 grand a month or something like that to invest. Once the mortgage is paid off, I'll have a lot more. So that brings me to kind of what I intend to do with that money. And hopefully gold and silver keep going down because I wouldn't mind picking up another few tubes of silver, but really I'm going to be picking up a bit more gold. I wouldn't mind even getting, a whole tube of Canadian maples or because they come in tubes of 10. Australian kangaroos, I think they're in tubes of 20. I'm not really sure. Probably wouldn't really be able to afford that. But I feel like getting 20, 25 ounces of gold, um, it's a really good, solid foundation um, for protection. Um, but in the meantime, I'm not really sure if I want to start buying like the smaller quarter ounces maybe each month or something like that, or possibly a half ounce each month. Um, not really sure how I'm going to play it. I do know this though: it's better to have some physical gold and silver than nothing. So many people they don't even have this. It's not even on their radar. Um, Again, we don't. No, nobody can really tell the future. This is all about kind of hedging, balanced diversification, and kind of looking out for yourself, your neighbor, that type of thing. I am also considering buying some farmland, but all real estate, is so just crazy expensive right now. Um, that I'm just not sure how I'm going to do that. I've always wanted. A friend of mine just picked up a duplex. My thought was he was probably buying it a bit too high, and it's probably I hope it works out for him, but I fear that this is kind of like the late innings of all these asset bubbles, And it's really, really uncertain how central banks are going to keep control of this stuff. If they decide to fight inflation, that's going to cause a lot of problems. If they just let it ride, that's going to cause a lot of problems. Um, so here we stand. Here we are. Definitely think if you don't have any gold and silver, and if you have like a decent, if let's say you got $100,000 retirement fund or investment portfolio, I don't think it's a bad idea to throw a tube of silver in there and at least 1 ounce of gold. You should really, I think the next decade, people are really going to realize the value of precious metals, especially as central banks are just creating so much currency. There's just so much debt out there. It's really hard to fathom how this is all gonna shake out. Lots of opinions offered on YouTube, but fact of the matter is no one really knows, and you certainly don't know when it's gonna happen. For all we know, Jackson Hole's coming up in a couple weeks. Maybe they're gonna come out and say, "Oh, hey, here's the currency reset." I've been dreading that as I stack cash for this mortgage payment. Hopefully, they don't devalue the currency and before I'm able to do that. I am suspicious of banks. I'm a little bit suspicious of governments. I don't like this moratorium on rents I see going on in the US. I think that's just a way, and here in Canada too, we've seen it. I think that's just a way to destroy the average middle class landlord and enrich, government, government cronies and stuff like that. BlackRock and these big builders. These are the guys who get all the money first. All the money that's created, they get all the breaks. They get the 0% interest rates. Meanwhile, Joe middle class buying a duplex is paying 3-4% or whatever. I don't like how that's going, and it's funny because with one hand they're kind of giving away to the masses all this free money and offering free rent and free rent moratoriums and that, and on the other hand they're kind of screwing you know um, the middle class. And it's always the way, right? The middle class is always the ones that get squeezed. We're going to be the ones who are going to be taxed disproportionately on our property, on our what meager incomes and investments we have. It's always the way, but I do want to prepare for that in a way that's kind of outside that system. And gold and silver offer um, an affordable, efficient way to do so, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Affordable in that it is a real asset. They're real assets. They're desirable. As that video I mentioned earlier, the quality is similar, and it's the same as what rich people would have anyway. And also, the other thing that you would want to do in this situation would be to buy property, but then you're kind of at, if you decide to buy a rental property, who knows what government regulations are going to come out, or how they're going to tax capital gains, how they're going to tax rental income. Who knows what they're going to do. And if you buy farmland, same thing. Like, there's so many things that are out of control with property right now, that revolve around taxation, that revolve around you're really beholden to banks for your loans and stuff like that. If you fall on hard times, if you're in over your head, which so many people tend to be, they're in over their head. They got these rental properties. I've heard so many stories, but none of them seem to really appear in mainstream media, about average everyday people not getting paid rent, and it's destroying their lives. They're going deeper and deeper into debt, to carry these properties as they're not getting rent. I've just heard so many stories this year, online, through certain YouTube channels, but also just around. I've had buddies of mine who have had renters, and some of them the renters paid, some of them the renters didn't. I mean, you're kind of stuck. Now this has been going on for a year and a half. that's a long time to have to carry. Most landlords don't have enough cash to carry the property a month, let alone, some set aside maybe 3 months. You know, you don't really think that this rent moratorium is essentially like a very long-term vacancy. If you get a $3,000 a month overhead cost on a property, you got to carry that property for a year and a half. I mean, that's some serious coin, right? That's like 50, 60,000 bucks. Who has that just hanging around? Um, so, anyway, that's just my thought. Once again, I hope I didn't bore you guys. If you enjoyed these discussions, these conversations, please comment. Comment down below. Check out my website, My Road to Wealth and Freedom. It's down below in the description, the link. And I just published my net worth a couple weeks ago. Check that out. It's still going up, even though I'm being super safe. I'm not gambling in the markets and just doing the safe, diligent, boring thing. Pay down debt, stack cash. Buy a little bit of gold and silver for insurance. Invest a little bit in my retirement fund. It's basically the name of the game. And anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and again, check out my website, My Road to Wealth and Freedom. Thanks, guys.